Whoa! What are you guys doing here? How does it go? Hi. What are you doing here? Do you want to play? You know that kid that's blonde? He's probably a CIA plant. God. I had a great night. There's just so many kids out tonight, man. All my usual spots I tried to go to were full of these angry kids that try to run me off the road. But anyway, if they're going through my life, if there was anyone in that I've ever met to pick, if I could take any one of them and pull them like a Sims character and drop them into the circumstances that I endured and suffered through, I don't think any one of them would make it. I don't think any one of you guys would make it. The amount of spiritual, psychological, physical abuse, the isolation, the loneliness, the freezing, the hunger, the sexual stuff, the feelings of losing your power, the battles for influence, these relationships that feel like they rape your soul, and having it come from your family. The worst part is that all the people that I had expected and was taught were there to help me. Growing up, you believe that EMTs, economic services, the government, the police, teachers, adults, your family, are there to help you. What I got was that I was gifted, I was blessed, and I earned the light. Somebody that's righteous and brave enough to become something worth anything, that worth is valuable to people. And they will go fucking psychotic to take it from you. Something that's inside me, they go psychotic to take from me. And when they can't, they try so hard to stop it. They don't want to see me win. They don't pray for me. They pray on my downfall. They lie. I had a conversation with my mother for the first time in a long time today. And as soon as it got to the point where I felt God was in the, like, just above me, my mom snapped and started yelling at me, screaming at me. So the point of all this is to prove, is Casey the victim? What did I do? What did I do that the accusers haven't done themselves? And worse. I didn't get violent. I didn't act out. I sat here trying to build Legos. I just wanted to make my songs, and I wanted to be able to get up in the morning and go have a good day. Everyone I met, I helped. Even if it was just a little bit, I never turned anyone away. Every opportunity I had to make the world a better place, I did. And even if it's things like there's a beer can on the road and I'm walking down the street, I feel bad for a long time about not picking it up. If I walk by and I'm just suffering and I'm like, I just gotta keep going, and I see the beer can and my mind goes, you should pick it up. But I'm like, my hands are full and I have blisters on my feet and my whole body hurts, and I've already walked 5 miles and I need to walk 2 more. But if then I would see a dead carcass of a squirrel or something, and I would put everything down and I'd pick it up and carry it into the woods. Every dead animal I've seen for the past 5 years, I've picked up and carried into the woods, and save for few, and those few I still feel bad about to this day. I can see that rabbit on October, or not October, on somewhere in August, like late August in 2023. I drove north to Milton, and I saw a rabbit on the road dead, and I didn't stop for it. I could see the squirrel that I drove by once, but also I could see 100 that I've put and carried into the woods. I've carried entire deer that were hit by cars that smelled disgusting, and I had already ridden my bike like 12 miles up a mountain, and then I had another 30 to go. But I stopped and carried the deer down into the forest and dumped it. And then a nice rich woman was like, "Thank you for doing that." I was like, every moment of my life I'm trying to make everything better. So when I go to court and I try to explain to the judge that the prosecution has had my mom calling them admitting that she lied for years, and they're still coming into the courtroom and bad-mouthing me, getting aggressive and talking shit, saying, "Oh, we could just take it to trial." And the judge will be like, "I mean, he looks a little bit better than he did last time." And then I'll try to say, "Hey, that abuse prevention order, I wasn't within the 50 feet. And you have no evidence I was within 50 feet. But you have these phone calls saying that they lied. Yet you're still going through with the charge." But I try to speak a little bit, and the judge will bark. They go, "I don't want to talk about your cases." And then I will be kicked from the meetings. So I messaged my public defender, and I said, like, how could you not stand up for me? How could you be experiencing this for years? You know what I'm going through. You've seen a little bit about what my life has been like and how much I've suffered, but you can't sympathize or empathize with how I must feel to experience that. You don't think that they're acting childish. You don't think they're acting like little babies throwing a temper tantrum. Imagine you get, how much money do prosecution and the judge make to sit there and it's like a baby mad throwing his fork at me, basically. You're like trying to feed the baby something that will, even if it's like delicious food, and they're just like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." That's how it feels when I'm floating above them as a giant face on the on the video chat. They bring me in on WebEx, and I'm sure that my face is plastered on the wall, huge, because when you talk on the Zoom meeting, you can see the whole face. So that as soon as I hit the video button and I go to speak, all of a sudden the judge sees a giant. And I think that's what makes him mad. And he starts barking. And he'll bark at my lawyer. Until all my public defenders except Kirk have resigned. At this point, because I stood up for myself. And said what they do is wrong. And they know what they do is wrong. I don't understand how I can go to jail for 30 days. I've been to jail a total of 30 days. And the only real crime I committed was taking a propane tank that I paid for. I've paid for it. And my neighbor and I bumped into each other in 2022. Everything else is people lying to the police. And I've been to jail for 30 days. I've been pepper sprayed 3 times. I've been ripped out of cars 3 times. I've been tackled twice. You saw what it happened in Morrisville. And my family ate that shit up. They've forgotten that they made up the things that they're attacking me for. It's been so, and I have to assume that they're just so pathetic. Their lives are so meaningless. But I could see I'm the only member of my family that isn't selfish. I'm extremely selfless to the point that it's become an issue that I don't have a self. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit by saying they're possessed. But I mean, I really did watch my mom today lose all cognitive ability, and she went right into screaming at me things that weren't true. She immediately started lying and screaming at me. After the phone call lasted about maybe 3 minutes before she did that. And then it went on for 15 minutes of her making things up and screaming at me. And I just, I'm sure she'll watch it. I had her on speakerphone so that all the people that I sit with on the bus can see where I came from. Because the big question around here is why doesn't he have a family? What did he do that made his family kick him out? So I got a lot of old women teared up on that bus, hearing my mom scream at me lies, and then admit to her lies, and then double down and start screaming and lying again. But at least this time she admitted that my dad lied, because she knows she lied under oath, which is a crime. So at the very least, she came clean about that. So that's one of my 6 charges. I have simple assault because my neighbor and I bumped into each other. Then he wrote a note saying how attractive I was and that I'm going to go far as a talented musician. But he had already listened to my girlfriend and I having sex to the door, and my neighbor caught him. He had lied to the police for 7 months straight with noise complaints that weren't real. I was asleep, hoping that when the police showed up, it would violate my lease, which would kick me out, because I stood up to him for trying to molest my little brother. So I drew Herbert the pervert on his note from Family Guy, and I taped it to my door. So he called the police about that. Then when I left, there was a little cardboard mudra that was a gift from somebody to me, that I was like, I'm not going to put it in my house. I didn't like the person that gave it to me. So I was like, if you want it. So at the end of it, after all that, I was like, I'm going to take it back and rip it up. But the police don't know that, and they don't care. And my neighbor won't admit that. So I have that. Petty larceny of a little thin piece of paper. Then, because they pepper sprayed me at my mom's house and I yelled, "You did this," to her, they gave me disorderly conduct. Because they grabbed me without saying anything at all. They just grabbed me and tackled me into a wall, and I raised my arms and said, I don't know what's happening. Please explain to me what's happening. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I got resisting arrest. Then my mom filed an abuse prevention order, and she used it. She milked that shit. We were talking pretty much every day. We hung out several times for over 24 hours. She came up here to visit, and she spends the whole time lying, screaming, belittling, gaslighting, talking shit, gossiping, stealing from me. My aunt and my mom have stolen from me. And then they make shit up, call backup, and convince them of their lies, convince them to believe it, and then they try to get that person to hurt me. And then when they feel they've stolen enough emotions to feel powerful, they try to kill me. They send people to hurt me and send me back out. And if you asked them what 13 times 13 was, you wouldn't get an answer within 20 minutes. They couldn't do 10 times 13 plus 13 times 3. My aunt couldn't do it. If you asked her what 14 times 14 was, she'd never get it. She'd get mad and she'd start yelling at you. And she wouldn't stop yelling at you for the rest of the night. She'd get up and get violent. The last time I saw my aunt, she got violent with me. That obese whale dying of eating, that selfish monster that destroyed her children's lives. And the only way my cousins got out is because they didn't want to be like her. The one cousin that doesn't care, that chose to let her influence him, he'll never get anywhere in his life. He's going to be just as fat. He's probably, at this point, he's a pedophile. Because he knows he's never getting laid. And they all sit around gossiping and talking shit about me. And I don't understand why God will give me shooting stars. I ask for things like a cot, and I get... That's expensive, and it's just on the side of the road for free. But I beg him, please punish these people. Please bring me justice. Get me through this. Help me win. And at the very least, I get a tarot reading that talks about a 33 life path, and it gives me clear instructions on what to do. But not like, go up here and do this. It's more like, just start working as hard as you can. And I was like, I don't believe it. I don't believe this is for me. She said a lot of really specific things, and it wasn't just about working. I know there's a lot of fat fucking old losers that watch my content. Working a job is subjecting yourself to satanic possession, where your spiritual resources are harvested because you signed a contract. It was made to destroy you. Working a job for the satanic government is not the way, and it's never been the way. What I'm doing is of value. This is brave. This is righteous. Putting myself in harm's way to show you what life is like on the other side. This is this is legacy. This is legend. And I don't think you could do it. Not at this level that I've experienced. You could go sit out in the woods for years. But to combat a spiritual war against people that are coming to kill you every day, to go up against governments and stand up to bullies that have the authority to legally have you put in situations that will kill you. And to do it, do you think you'd save the people? You think you'd sit here and save their lives and embody something that heals them, changing every community you enter and paving a way for everyone else after you to make it out so they never have to go through what you went through? You couldn't even make it past level 1, which was the cunts. No, it was the creeps. For me, it started with the creeps, then it went to the cunts, then it went to the cops, then it went to the crackheads, and then it went to the crows.